8 behaviours that make people stop taking you seriously. If you want to understand why people lose respect for you, do not look at what they say. Look at what they tolerate. Authority is not something you announce. It is something others sense before you ever speak. The Stoics understood that respect is not granted through effort. It is withdrawn through behaviour. Most men do not lose authority in dramatic moments. They leak it slowly, quietly, through habits they barely notice. By the time they realise, people are already treating them differently, talking over them, testing them, ignoring them. Today, you will learn 8 behaviours that silently erode how others see you. Not so you can manipulate, but so you can correct what weakens your presence. If you recognise these patterns, this is not an attack. It is an invitation to sharpen your discipline. The first behaviour is overexplaining yourself. The moment you explain more than is necessary, you shift from authority to defence. You place yourself beneath the listener, as if your position requires approval. The Stoics believed that a man secure in his judgment does not narrate his reasoning to seek comfort. He decides and stands with it. Overexplanation signals uncertainty even when your decision is sound. People do not consciously analyze this. They feel it. They sense that you need to be understood. And when someone needs understanding, they are no longer leading. They are negotiating. Explanation should clarify when required, not soothe insecurity. The more you justify, the more others feel entitled to question. The second behavior is reacting immediately to everything. Speed is not strength. Reactivity is not confidence. A man who responds instantly to every comment, every challenge, every provocation communicates one thing. He is controlled by the moment. Marcus Aurelius warned against allowing external events to dictate your internal state. When you react without pause, you show that others can move you, that their words reach inside you without resistance. Calm delay creates gravity. It forces others to sit with what they said. Immediate reaction relieves their pressure and transfers it onto you. Authority lives in restraint, not reflex. The third behavior is tolerating small disrespect. Disrespect rarely arrives loudly. It comes as jokes that go unanswered. Interruptions you allow. Favor requests you resent but accept. Each small tolerance teaches others how to treat you. Epictetus taught that we train people how to behave toward us by what we permit. Men often excuse this behavior as being easygoing or agreeable. But what others see is not kindness. They see uncertainty around your boundaries. And when boundaries are unclear, people test them. Authority requires quiet enforcement, not emotional confrontation. The line must exist, even if it is never announced. The fourth behavior is trying to be liked by everyone. Approval seeking is incompatible with respect. When a man adjusts himself to fit every room, he belongs to none. The Stoics warned against outsourcing your self-worth to the crowd. When people sense that you need their acceptance, they unconsciously rank you lower, not out of cruelty, but instinct. A man who stands comfortably in his principles does not chase agreement. He allows alignment to happen naturally. Being agreeable feels safe, but it erodes your edge. Respect follows clarity, not popularity. The fifth behavior is revealing too much too soon. Information is leverage. When you disclose your struggles, plans, fears, or ambitions prematurely, you surrender control of how you are perceived. Seneca warned that what is shared casually is often used carelessly. Many men believe openness creates connection. In reality, timing creates respect. The man who speaks selectively is seen as measured. The man who overshares is seen as porous. Silence is not secrecy. It is discipline. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Authority is maintained by discernment. At this point, if this way of seeing behavior resonates with you, you are already part of the group this channel is for. We are close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, which means a small but disciplined community of people who care about self-mastery, restraint, and psychological strength. If this content sharpens how you think and move through the world, join us, subscribe, and be part of something that values depth over noise. And thank you to everyone who has been here early. Back to the lesson. The sixth behavior is explaining your boundaries. A boundary explained becomes a debate. The moment you justify why you cannot do something, you imply that your limit requires validation. The Stoics believed that freedom begins with knowing what belongs to you, your time, your energy, your tolerance. When you explain your boundaries, you invite counter-arguments. When you enforce them quietly, you teach others where the line is. Respect does not come from understanding. It comes from consistency. The man who explains his limits will have them tested. The man who enforces them will have them remembered. The seventh behavior is emotional leakage. Your emotions are always speaking, even when your mouth is closed. Visible frustration, nervous laughter, defensive tone. These signals tell others how grounded you are. Stoicism is not emotional suppression, it is emotional command. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man should be like a rock against which the waves continually break. When people sense that your emotions are easily stirred, they sense instability. And instability erodes trust. Authority grows when your inner state remains steady regardless of external conditions. Calm is not passive, it is intimidating. The eighth behavior is talking instead of acting. Nothing lowers credibility faster than words unsupported by action. Promises, declarations, announced intentions. The Stoics warned against speaking of what you intend to become. A man who talks too much about what he will do is living in the future to escape the present. Results speak without effort. Action removes the need for explanation. When people see consistency over time, they stop questioning. They stop testing. They adjust. Authority is not built through statements. It is built through evidence. These 8 behaviors share one common thread. They all reveal a man who is trying to manage perception instead of mastering himself. Stoicism teaches the opposite approach. You do not control how others see you. You control how you move, speak, and decide. And perception follows naturally. The world is constantly testing, not with grand trials, but with subtle moments. How you respond, what you tolerate, what you explain, what you ignore. When you remove these behaviors, something changes. People listen more closely. They interrupt less. They hesitate before testing you. Not because you demanded respect, but because your presence carries weight. Authority is quiet. It does not announce itself. It is felt. The Stoics did not seek dominance over others. They sought alignment within themselves. And alignment creates gravity. You do not need to be louder. You do not need to convince. You do not need to perform. You need to be solid, calm in your decisions, selective in your words, firm in your boundaries. When you stop leaking authority, others stop taking liberties. And that is when respect returns, without being asked for.